Hey guys, it's G from the F Word here to review La Casa de Papel, another Netflix original, this one's set in Spain. It is a heist series, this is the first season, and we've got 8 robbers plus their leader called the Professor who take over a mint in Madrid. Now, I'm not going to tell you much more about their plan. I'm not going to tell you too much about what goes on because that could be spoiler territory, and I really don't want to spoil this thing for you because there is a lot in this. This isn't a straightforward heist show. There is a lot involved in both the heist itself, the characters involved, and both the cops and the robbers side of the whole story. And again, I don't want to ruin anything because it is really cool to watch this thing unfold on its own the way that they presented it. What I will say is that we've got our robbers all named after different cities: Tokyo, Rio, Helsinki, Nairobi, Oslo, Moscow, Denver, and Berlin. And again, our leader being called the Professor. And they are all very different and interesting characters. We've got seasoned vets with new up-and-comers. We've got people in that middle ground. We've got, your crazier type of people. You've got your calm, cool collects. You got all sorts in this little group. And you've got your Professor, who is a very smart, meticulous individual. On the police side, of course, you've got Raquel, who is the main negotiator, and her partner, Angel, as well as some other people within there. And you've got your hostages. And that's your recipe for a heist show. This show, it starts off with us meeting Tokyo, and a lot of it is told from her perspective. She is our narrator throughout the whole show, and so you can consider her as being our main character because we do get the most information from her. Insights to the characters, insights to the heists, insights to a lot of different other things, thought process, so on and so forth. Which helps because, like I said, there's a lot to this. All the actors in here are really good. Anybody who's given something to do does it very well. The Professor, who does play this socially awkward, meticulous genius, because really when this plan unfolds, you do get to see how much of a genius he is. And obviously all our characters with all different types of personalities that play them off really well. So the acting across the board is just really, really well done. The writing is really good in this. A lot of similes and metaphors, things, and it speaks a lot to the characters themselves. Some of them are that more calm, cool, collected, that do have those nice ebb and flows in their conversations, that do use the metaphors and the similes to their advantage to get their point across. And then you've got the others that are more straightforward. And then you've got Tokyo, who's this kind of middle ground, who give insight to certain characters in a very understanding and thoughtful way, which when you meet some of these characters, you kind of don't like. They kind of weird you out. Some of them you're really drawn to, but it all works out really well, and they all work really well together. They're all interesting personalities. It's kind of got that Reservoir Dogs feel where each individual person stands out on their own. And a lot of that has to do and always is credited to the writing. And that's, I guess, the biggest thing. The second would be the editing and how they put this show together. In about episode 2 or 3, I was a little bit worried that they've gone so far in what happens during this heist that the rest of the episodes would have a tough time keeping me engaged and how they get out of certain situations. But the way that it's edited involves the flashbacks and giving more insight to the heist, because honestly, it starts off right away, so we don't know much about the planning of it, but we learn about the planning as certain events are happening. As they get to a certain phase in the plan, we get insight to it through Tokyo's narration as well as a quick flashback. So the editing was done really well, and it keeps you kind of going because at the same time you're wanting to see the heist unfold, you're also wanting to be involved and be a part of it. Some shows do that thing where you don't find out what happens until the very end, and they do this big kind of Sherlock Holmes style wrap up where shows where everything is, and then you kind of have to go back and think about it, and you just find out to the very end, which is cool. And I liked it when I watched it, specifically mentioning Sherlock, but this was kind of cool to be along for the ride more so than you would expect to be. And there was just a lot of other really good things, from music to the setting being in this mint that they did a really good job putting together, because you have an idea of where everything is. So that was really cool. The situations going outside of the mint where the Professor has to do a lot of things that he's not used to doing, which you'll find out, and lengths that he has to go to fully realize his plan. And obviously the inner conflicts that eventually happen when you're locked in a place for days with 60 or 70 people having to keep tabs on everything. Things are going to happen, and they happen in a very organic and very well-paced way. I guess the only negative I would say is that there was some episodes that included or introduced certain things that may or may not have helped to the overall story. Yes, it helped with some character development, but some of the characters were made very small early on. And so when they tried to bring some importance to it, you're kind of sitting there like, we didn't really get this feeling from the beginning and you're bringing it up now. So it's a little bit out there. I don't want to say what it is, but again, there's a couple of those. It's very minor. This is a really good show. I can't think of too much else. There's a couple people there are a couple robbers where you don't get too much of their backstory and you kind of want to, you're interested in them. But I mean, not everyone's going to get the same amount of screen time. Overall, this is a really cool, very well put together show. It's very well written, very well executed, very well acted. I would highly recommend this to anybody that likes heist shows. This is another foreign Netflix original that is just fantastic and a lot of fun and really cool, and you'll enjoy yourself watching it. And it's got style. It's got that Inside Man, Reservoir Dogs with a little bit of Oceans, just little hints of it. Not over the top. You don't think you're watching that type of show. The closest would be an Inside Man, but it is very engaging and it's definitely worth your time. Anyways, guys, that's my review of La Casa de Papel. Let me know if you've seen it. I'd love to hear from you. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button if you like what you see. See more of our videos. We just put a quiz out. We're starting to stream a little bit of some live stuff that we do from our Instagram page on Entertain Facts. So make sure you're following Entertain Facts. You can email us at thefwordpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow me at the FwordsG on Twitter. And I'll catch you on the next one. I'm G, and I am out.